Monkey Mondays, where we only cover the facts. Nestled in the scenic beauty of Payette County, Idaho, Fruitland presents itself as a peaceful city bordered by the winding Snake and Payette rivers. Positioned strategically along U.S. Route 95 in the Treasure Valley of southwest Idaho, Fruitland is approximately 50 miles west of Boise, near the Oregon border. It plays a significant role in the Ontario micropolitan area, is renowned for its vast apple orchards, earning the nickname the Big Apple of Idaho. According to the latest United States Census, Fruitland boasts a lively population of 6,072 residents, residing in 2,100 households and 1,286 families. Despite its idyllic exterior, Fruitland captured global attention on a warm summer evening in 2021, not for its agricultural abundance, but due to the puzzling disappearance of 5-year-old Michael Vaughan. Michael's vibrant personality and inquisitive nature paint a vivid picture of a young boy captivated by exploration. His days are brimming with joyful activities, from digging into the earth's depths to immersing himself in the virtual realms of Minecraft. Michael's interests span a wide spectrum, from marveling at the night sky, celestial wonders, to adoring superheroes like the Mandalorian, Spider-Man, and Batman. His playful spirit extends to his choice of toys, ranging from monster trucks and Hot Wheels to the intricate world of Legos. Furthermore, Michael revels in outdoor adventures, whether it's spending time at the park, embarking on camping trips, or seeking thrills at water parks and amusement centers. On July 27th, 2021, Brandineal, Michael's devoted mother, began her day with a sense of anticipation, knowing it marked her final work day before a well-deserved break. Her mind was filled with thoughts of cherished moments with her lively children, one of whom is affectionately called Monkey. As she bids her family farewell that morning, leaving her children in the care of their father Tyler, little did she know it would signal the start of an unimaginable nightmare. Around 4 p.m., Brandineal took a break from work and called home. Everything seemed normal, with Michael immersed and playing on his Nintendo Switch. Little did they know, in just a few hours, everything would change. Tyler, Michael's devoted father, went to wake the baby from a nap and change a particularly dirty diaper, also deciding to order a pizza. When Tyler returned, Michael was nowhere to be found. Frantically, Tyler called Brandy at work to inform her of the situation, and moments later he dialed 911. Despite searching desperately, Michael was nowhere to be found. In a cruel twist of fate, the evening descended into a turbulent ordeal of despair and anguish. Michael's sudden disappearance, initially met with disbelief, quickly transformed into a frantic search as the severity of the situation dawned on his family and the entire community. With each passing hour, hope dwindled, replaced by the ominous shadow of uncertainty. As law enforcement and volunteers scoured the neighborhood for any sign of the missing child, CCTV footage offered fleeting glimpses into Michael's final moments before vanishing into the night. Clad in the distinct attire, he roamed familiar paths, knocking on doors in search of companionship. Yet his innocent ventures led him into the abyss of uncertainty, leaving his loved ones grappling with the painful reality of his absence. In the aftermath of Michael's disappearance, Fruitland stood united in grief, its tranquil facade shattered by the haunting echoes of a child lost to the unknown. As the investigation delved deeper into the mysteries surrounding his vanishing, the community clung to hope, fervently praying for his safe return in the darkness enveloping their once serene enclave. Whereabouts of Michael Vaughan, a young boy from Fruitland, Idaho, have remained an unsettling mystery since his disappearance. Last seen on a summer evening in 2021, Michael's presence was noted between 6:40 p.m. and 7 p.m. near his residence on Southwest 9th Street. He was dressed in a distinctive blue Minecraft t-shirt, blue boxer-style shorts, and flip-flops. Despite extensive search efforts promptly initiated after his disappearance, including county-wide endeavors by search and rescue units, law enforcement agencies, and vigilant community volunteers, Michael's whereabouts remain unknown. Brandonshirtliff interview conducted by JLR Investigates on November 25th, 2022. Brandonshirtliff participated in an interview with JLR Investigates on November 25th, 2022, just 6 days before he was implicated as a suspect in the Michael Vaughan case. During the interview, he was questioned extensively about the events surrounding Michael Vaughan's disappearance, including inquiries about individuals such as Stacey and Sarawondra, as well as Adrienlucien. According to a police press conference, Brandonshirtliff is among one of 4 individuals suspected of involvement in the abduction of Michael Vaughan, a 5-year-old boy who vanished from his residence in Fruitland, Idaho on July 27, 2021. He had been lodging with Stacey and Sarawondra, who are also implicated as suspects in the case, along with Adrienlucien, another roommate. Law enforcement authorities have established contact with Shirtliff and Lucien, although no details regarding their involvement or cooperation have been disclosed. Despite extensive search efforts, Michael Vaughan has not been located, and the case remains unresolved. Staceywondra. Various interviews. Staceywondra, who was incarcerated at the time he was named a person of interest in the Michael Vaughan case, conducted numerous interviews on YouTube with various creators. Hailing from Fruitland, Idaho, Stacey claimed he turned to YouTube to clear his name. However, in my view, his efforts seemed to backfire as he had inadvertently cast suspicion upon himself. Throughout these interviews, Stacey provided inconsistent accounts, offering differing timelines and activities in each session. He introduced new details not mentioned in previous interviews, resulting in a shifting narrative of events on the day Michael went missing. These discrepancies ultimately placed Stacey within the small window of time and location where Michael was last seen, raising more questions rather than providing answers to the family and law enforcement. Furthermore, Stacey remarked on the mood of the neighborhood upon his departure that evening, describing it as dead and quiet. This level of attentiveness to his surroundings struck me as suspicious, as it hinted at a heightened awareness or observation of the area's mood.
Yeah, the people that I used to stay with sometimes on the weekend and drive taxi for or whatever, they're involved in some big shit about. They're saying they know more about the Michael Vaughan case and everything like that. And I heard that they're saying that they actually killed him themselves.
Now, who said that?
I think the detectives told me that that's what Stacey and Sarah said themselves, is that they did it or they were involved in it or they know who did.
All right. So, Adrian, where's he from?
I think he's from California somewhere.
So, but how did he get up there? Like, how did he end up there in Idaho?
He just flew in from California to come see his son and his old girlfriend or whatever.
But where did Sarah meet him? Like, how does she know him?
I don't know. I think he just randomly called her phone one day from the airport and said, "Can you give me a ride from here to there or whatever?" And that's probably how those two met.
Yeah, because obviously, Sarah, according to this arrest affidavit, she's claiming that this Adrian guy helped bury Michael in her yard. That's what she said, according to the arrest affidavits, or the neighbors. She also said the neighbor's yard too.
Right.
So yeah, people are wondering, who's Adrian?
Yeah, he's just some kid that came here from California for a little bit to visit his son and his old girlfriend.
Did he get arrested at all?
No, he didn't get arrested or talked to or nothing.
So how long was he there at their house for?
He was only there for a week up to 2 weeks tops.
After Michael went missing?
After Michael went missing, I'm pretty sure he was there for a couple days after that as well.
Okay, so he was there about a week and a half prior to Michael being missing. Then Michael went missing, and then a couple days later, he goes back to California.
I think so, yeah.
Did Adrian come the same day that Michael was taken?
No, Adrian had come I think he was at our house for at least 2 months.
2 months before then? When?
Adrian was a quote-unquote taxi ride that Sarah had taken the call, and when Adrian had called her, and this is what Sarah told me, that Adrian had called her and said that he was going through a hard time. He was staying in Caldwell behind some fucking dumpster, or whatever he claimed. And Sarah had asked me, so she goes, so I wanted to talk to you. She goes, I have this taxi customer that had called that, is going through a hard time, is down and out, and she goes, I wanted to talk to you about possibly helping out with a place to stay.
When did Adrian move in, approximately?
It's like a year later, I want to say, like June, early July.
And how did you guys come across him? Because he has an issue with, human trafficking.
I told you that this morning. Anybody had more involvement in something like this, it could possibly have been Adrian, considering his criminal history reflects a significant track record of human trafficking.
That, they wouldn't do it, but Adrian might. Is there something about this guy that stands out to you that may be a little different?
Yeah,
or
he's got an infamous history of human trafficking.
Of how are you aware? How are you aware of his?
The detectives informed me.
Think did this?
I don't know.
I know
Adrian has, according to detectives and what I've been told by them, that Adrian has a huge history of human trafficking. So I wouldn't put it past him.
You guys know that Adrian's a known human trafficker. And I was like, what? Because here's we don't do background checks on the, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't we're Christian people, we felt like helping people was what God wanted us to do.
I think it's the same thing.
So what month and year did you meet Stacey?
I probably met him in like 2020 or 2019, something like that, a couple years back. And then I helped him with this. There was this other gentleman, his name was Labor Dave, and he had a lawn mowing business and a furniture moving business. And that's where we met, is when I was a U-Haul driver and I helped go around and move everybody's furniture, me and him.
What
and
town was that in?
That was probably in like Boise, Idaho.
Okay, so you met him in Boise.
I hate to backtrack a little bit. How did you meet Brandon?
They're moving job to Labor Days.
So y'all have done. Is it true to say y'all have done different odd jobs, I guess, on the internet?
I used to be huge fanatic, huge fan of doing odd jobs. It was an easy way to make some money.
Okay.
So is it possible? Okay, so you're with Sarah and you're with Adrian out or getting your car and bringing it back. Is it possible Stacey was home left alone and did something and maybe went out and snatched Michael? I mean, how do you do you guys know about Stacey's whereabouts at the time?
I personally don't. So I'm saying that could be a possibility.
Let me ask you this. Would you consider yourself friends with Brandon and Adrian right now? Or has y'all okay, so your friendship at some point has ended.
I thought I would have still had a friendship before I got out of jail, but when I started finding out they were talking all this shit on me, fuck them.
Okay.
Scandalous bastards, dude.
So when you went to jail, you were still friends with these people. Okay, so time you get out of jail, they've done, said things to the police, and they've said things to multiple YouTubers. I know that for a fact.
And when did Adrian move in, approximately?
It's like a year later, I want to say, like June, early July.
And how did you guys come across him? Because he has an issue with, human trafficking.
I told you that this morning. So Sarah had called me for I was at home at the time. I don't know. This is in June or early July. Called me and said that, hey, I have a question for you. We need to talk. I have a taxi customer who called me asking if we would just help him out with a ride. He doesn't have any money at the time. But I'm really compelled to help him. He also doesn't have a place to live. He's staying behind a dumpster in Caldwell. Do you feel like we're in a position to help him out? My response to Sarah was this. I said, I do not feel comfortable. I said, our situation. You know that, yes, we do have a heart to help people. We love to help people. But we're not in a financial situation nor a physical ability to take on somebody else's, problems. she then approached me and was like, well, I really feel like this is God's calling, again, the whole God thing. God wants me to help him. God's telling me we should help him. And I'm like, you know what? Fine. Do what you want to do. I had told her specifically I was not okay with it. But being the person that she is and being the person I am, I suggested and told her that it wasn't okay. But she did anyways. And as a result, he caused us problems.
Like what kind of problems besides?
Apparently he was fucking her behind my back. Like he would try to get us to scam people for, like I was telling you this morning, Brooks, scam people, creating a false or a fake chat line and then hustling people for their money and taking their money from them through Cash App. Just those kind of problems, stuff that, Sarah and I didn't really want a part of. Sarah agreed to help him with it. I didn't, but it also never went anywhere, to my knowledge. And if it did, I sure as hell wasn't aware of it.
I don't know. I think it's possible that Brandon or Adrien or Sarah could have had something to do with it. Is like I said, as much as they're deceitful and dishonest and liars, I think it's possible.
Like I said, that's where he was buried. Okay. That's the last place I had known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Did law enforcement ever ask you where Michael is buried?
Yeah, and I told him I don't have any idea. They asked me about our backyard, and I said that's not even possible. There's no trench marks. There's no dig marks. There's absolutely no. There's nothing. There's not even. There's nothing at all in our backyard.
So, any help you have.
So to be 1000% with you, where I've directed you is the last place that I knew. That's literally the place that he was buried.
Interrogation process work, like from the first time you were interrogated and then the second time when the excavation happened after?
They just came and did a bunch of questions on me. Just started asking me questions, what happened, where was I at, typical, the questions I've already answered on through the videos. And as far as the excavation process, I was the one that tipped him off. It was a fable. It was not true. There, I knew he wasn't. I knew he wasn't going to be there. But I said it because apparently they were big and bad and thought they knew everything. So
right.
I wanted to give them a little taste of their own medicine, and they didn't find shit. There's nothing to show.
Was this right before the excavation, like that week prior?
Like I said, that's where he was buried. Okay. That's the last place I had known. Again, haven't been home for quite a while, and a lot of shit. You know what I mean? So the only other place I would say, if he's not in that backyard, is go to Cuna to Brandon's house and check in the backyard by the tree area.
Wow. So that was, I guess that's why the probable cause came into fruition, because that's almost like, if they're taking it for face value, they're gonna do that. That is a probable cause worthy event. Did you specifically just blame it on everybody? Like, here, they did it, go check it. Or did you just say he was back there?
I didn't blame him. I just said he was back there. I didn't blame any name.
Give me an approximate time frame it took her to dig and bury.
I don't know. I'd say probably between a half hour to an hour-ish. I want to say. I think Adrien was helping her. Right about that. Okay. Adrien's Brandon wasn't anywhere around that. But I know Adrien's, pretty decent, skinny dude, so his abilities, and he's taller, so his abilities are a little more
what's the word, spread open, wide open. Then I don't know. The last place that I know that he was buried was where I pointed you guys.
In your parents' back?
Yeah.
So that's how did you guys when you came back? Why did you come back here?
What do you mean came back there?
Yeah, I mean, like the next day, like you shared with us that Brandon put him in the guest room, bound up, but then the next day they moved him back here. Why?
That's a great question. I couldn't tell you.
They questioned me in November of 2022, interrogated the fuck out of me.
How long did they interrogate you for?
I think they did it multiple days. It was like 3 days, but it was probably 2, 3, 4 hours at a time.
Wow.
I think the longest one went like 5 hours.
So was this over a period of 1 day or multiple days?
Multiple days.
Multiple days. Was this before or after the excavation? Or I would assume before, because that you're the one that tipped them off to get it all started, right?
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, there's been, we haven't, coerced you or persuaded you to tell. We've just asked for what's the one thing we've only asked for?
Tell the truth.
The truth. That's it. That's all. And here we are again at your house asking you, and you're being helpful, and it all, it's all recorded. Mm-hmm. Everybody's happy.
Yeah.
No questions that anybody's doing anything, that shouldn't be done.
They have a crawl space under there in their master bedroom. You walk in their master bedroom, take a right, and there's like this little crawl space right there. And I know that was open one day, and I went in there and looked, and there was like some kind of one of their cats that got down in there and pissed everywhere.
Oh, really? Why were you looking down there?
Because it was open.
Oh, you were just seeing what it was.
Yeah.
What about an attic?
No, the door was open, like they wanted their cats to go down in there or something. Or like that was another. I don't know. I went in their bedroom and looked to the right one day, and then that thing was open. Their basement crawl space door.
Where's it at in their bedroom? Under their bed? Is it noticeable? Is it hidden?
It's kind of, you go in their bedroom and then you go straight into their master bedroom. There's a shower on the left, and then right when you turn to the right, there's just like this little hatch door that opens.
But if someone just you could see the hatch from the wall, or you could tell something's there. I mean, is it hidden?
It's cut into the carpet, so it's like just a big piece of carpet with like a little square kind of cut out on two sides, and then it comes open.
So why is Brandon so focused on the crawl space in your master bedroom?
I have no idea. I don't know. I know that the crawl space literally consisted of an empty firearm box.
Oh, say that again. I'm sorry, you cut out.
Brandon, or sorry, I don't know why he's he's fixed on the crawl space, but I can tell you that there was nothing in that crawl space beside an empty firearm box.
We've been here since last night.
Holy shit.
So, and here's the crawl space in your bathroom. Did they put him in this crawl space by chance?
I have no idea. I know that the only reason I ever opened it was to put that savage box in there.
And to answer your question, Vet Girl, I have no idea why Brandon blames me for everything. It's pathetic. They always say the first person to blame somebody is usually the first person that did it. So maybe, I don't know. I won't speak out of context because it's not my place to speak. I will only speak the truth and what I know. But it is bullshit. I will only.
Okay. What about underneath the house?
There was
crawl
a crawl space, but that crawl space literally it was in the walk-in closet from our bathroom.
Right.
That literally had an empty Savage Arms old box from an old 17 that I had.
Okay.
Staceywondra's description of the child.
In fact, the kid that I saw looked like he had dark hair, like very dark hair, like mine.
Far away from the street was he?
I was on the sidewalk.
Oh, he was on the sidewalk. Okay.
He wasn't even in the street.
But he was by a house. Was it like
the whole stretch of houses?
at Southwest 8th in Arizona? Okay. About how many houses down did you see him?
I could see him in the distance. You know what I mean? Like there was a. I mean, I could see the face, but I don't. There was probably 5, 6, 7 houses down.
You saw a boy that day as well, didn't you? You said
Yes.
you saw a boy.
Further down 8th Street on the very right hand side in somebody's yard. And he didn't look anything like Michael at any point in time.
Okay.
We didn't ever even approach the kid.
Did the boy you saw have a yellow shirt on?
It was a bright shirt, correct. From what I remember. It was shorts and a bright shirt. And he was a lot taller than the 5-year-old boy. I can tell you that much.
And you notice a child with a. Tell me a little bit about the child you noticed. What did you see? What was going on?
Just know he had dark brown hair.
Uh-huh.
He was taller, like he had to have been 8, 9, 10 years old. Did not look anything. Not. I mean, mind you, it wasn't a clear picture. You know what I mean? I wasn't really trying to pay attention. You know?
Yeah, you was putting power.
I always pay attention to my surroundings all the time. You know. There was a kid playing further down the road. Excuse me, sorry. But it wasn't Michael. I can tell that 100%. This kid was definitely older, probably 9, 10 years old, dark hair. He looked more like, excuse my language, more like a Mexican or like, Hispanic. He just wasn't Michael's description at all.
How old was this boy that you saw, would you guess?
I'd say probably 8, 9, 10 years old. Definitely older, like more physique. You know what I mean? Like when more filled in, more defined.
Was he in a yard?
Yeah, he was in the neighbor's yard. Yeah, or one of the people's yards off of East Street. But
okay.
I assumed it was just somebody.
He wasn't playing in none of the fields over there.
No.
Oh, okay. That's what I was trying to get at. Was he in the field or was he near? Because a lot of that
outside a house, like in the front yard.
One child looks like he has dark hair too. Sidewalk 3, 5, 6, 7 houses down 4. Does not know what he is wearing 5. On the right in someone's yard 6, it was a shorts bright shirt 7. Taller than a 5-year-old boy 8. Dark brown hair, it'd be 8, 9, 10 years old 9. In a neighbor's yard or one of people's yard.
So we pulled off right on the right-hand side of the road.
Okay.
Before Arizona.
Okay. Now let me ask you this.
Probably 500 feet before.
Okay, so in this, what time would you think this was during the day?
5:15. No, sorry. We left about 5:30, so doing like 5:40.
You seen him that night?
Brandy.
You seen him that night. Tell me about the kid. Tell me about the kid on the road. Was it him?
That was not him. No, it was not him.
How come you changed ages, sex, color of
Hey,
hair?
what?
All of your statements. How come that little boy? You said you pulled off out of the neighborhood up here on 8th. There are no houses here. You cannot see down 6 houses.
How can you tell me I can't see 6 houses? That was not your son, Brandy. What do you want me to say?
You changed your story continuously, and then you
No,
said,
I haven't.
Yes, you have.
I have specified in every one of my podcasts that I have done that my information may not be 100% clear, as it has been almost 3.5 years. Would you remember something 3.5 years verbatim, detail? Would you? Because I guarantee you wouldn't. Nobody can remember something.
Tell me, what was the boy doing that you saw on the road that night?
It wasn't your boy, Brandy. And he was outside of some house playing down the road on the right-hand side. I don't know what house. I don't know exactly what house. I don't have an address to give you, other than it was literally probably like 4 or 5 houses on the right-hand side of the road.
But you would have had to drive by the kid, right?
Correct.
Can you?
But by the time I had filled up the power steering and we had taken off, he had already gone back inside with his family.
How do you know
I had watched because I don't know that it was family's house. All I know is I watched somebody come out of the side of their house and told them that it was time to come inside. And that's all I know. What else do you want me to give you? It wasn't your boy. You want to make up something?
So you saw a little boy. You pulled off the side of the road on 8th. Was it on directly outside?
No. Clarify. I did not see the little boy until after I had gotten out of the truck and opened the hood, and I heard noise coming from the background of somebody playing in the yard of the house. Just to get that straight. We didn't pull off because we saw somebody playing in the front yard. To clarify.
So you pulled out of Hidden Meadows subdivision, correct? Took a left.
Carry on.
Okay. The next road to turn is
the next right turn was Arizona Street.
Correct. So
we
from
pulled off before that.
Okay, in between, because that's all field right there on the right-hand side. That's nothing.
And there's also a pull-off spot.
Right there, right before the sign on 8th. Or Arizona. On Arizona. So where was the little boy? Because you would have had to pull off right there in front of Arizona and 8th. Right there, where the pull-off is. I've stood there and I've looked down the road. Which house looking down the road? I know you said 5 or 6 houses down the road. You said this child was playing in the yard. Was he standing? Was he sitting?
He was standing in the yard. How else would I notice somebody who was he was like having a good time? He was just being himself. I don't know. He was being like every fucking other kid that wants to have fun in their life. Like, I don't know. Like, it was not Michael. Correct.
Where was the little? But I know all my neighbors, and there's no children. There are no kids there.
Well, there was a kid there, and it wasn't Michael. So I don't know what else to tell you. Other than what I saw and what I heard and what I know, that somebody came out of the house and told them that it was time to come inside.
But I know all my neighbors, and there's no children. There are no kids there.
Well, there was a kid there.
There is no way you heard anyone tell a little child to go inside a house from that distance.
I don't know if these people had friends that had kids or if somebody was babysitting. I don't know.
You saw that person tell that kid to go inside?
I heard the person tell him to come in.
So you were close enough to hear, but couldn't see. Which house, or do you remember which house? I know it's been 1,240 days, 3.5 years of pure hell and nightmares. People claiming they know where my son is and won't tell me. So,
if I knew your boy was, I would have already told them that at the beginning of everything.
Which house? I'm just curious. Which house was it that you saw this little?
It was a beige house. I don't know exactly the number. It was a beige house.
And it's on that right side right there on 8th.
Correct.
Between Arizona and Washington.
Correct.
I know all of those neighbors.
Okay. And I'm sorry that and maybe you ever think maybe they were babysitting or maybe,
I know their grandchildren.
Maybe they had a friend over. I don't know. What do you want me to tell you? I don't have anything to give you, Brandy. I have told every fucking thing. You're trying to get something get me to say I have information. I don't have anything.
Do you believe that
you could have did
Adrian and Brandon were involved?
No, not at all.
Nothing to do with it. If you
no.
don't.
Brandon, me, and Sarah were all gone that night, Brandy. We were in Cuna.
Throughout multiple interviews, Staceywondra has repeatedly altered and expanded his story about the child he claimed to have seen. raising serious doubts about the credibility of his statements. His description has changed significantly over time, key details evolving, including the child's age, size, hair color, location, and even ethnicity. These inconsistencies have raised questions about whether Stacey is genuinely recalling the child he saw or deliberately altering details to obscure the truth. Beyond these contradictions, Stacey has also changed details regarding his interactions with law enforcement. In one version, he described a harsh, intense interrogation, painting a picture of aggressive questioning. However, a later released video contradicted this claim, showing Stacey appearing calm, collected, and composed while he pinpointed a supposed location where he believed Michael Vaughan was. The stark contrast between these portrayals raised further concerns about his truthfulness and motivations. The account given by Staceywondra and Brandonshirtliff about how they met Adrienlucienne and when he arrived are vastly different, raising serious questions about what really happened. Staceywondra claimed that Adrien was a homeless man living behind a dumpster and that sarawondra picked him up after he had taken a taxi ride. This version paints Adrien as someone with no ties to the area, suggesting he was down on his luck and simply ended up at the Wondra home by chance. However, Brandonshirtliff told a completely different story. According to him, Adrien flew in from California with the specific purpose of visiting his child. This narrative suggests Adrien had perplexing plans and a clear reason for being in Idaho, contradicting Stacey's claim that he was a random individual Sarah picked up. With such huge discrepancies between their stories, key question remains: who is telling the truth? Why would Stacey and Brandon describe Adrien's arrival in such dramatically different ways? These contradictions only add to the mystery surrounding those involved and what they might know about Michael Vaughan's disappearance. With so many contradictions in Staceywondra's statement, what is the truth? Who is truly responsible for Michael Vaughan's disappearance? And most urgently, where is Michael Vaughan? Part 2, coming soon. Michael Joseph Vaughan, lovingly known as Monkey, is a lively and adventurous boy with a heart full of joy. Born on June 24, 2016, to Brandineal and Tyler Vaughan, he lights up every room with his bright blue eyes, golden blonde hair, and boundless curiosity. His playful spirit and love for exploring the world around him make him unforgettable to those who know him. But on July 27, 2021, everything changes. At just 5 years old, Michael disappears from his neighborhood in Fruitland, Idaho. One moment he is there, full of energy, laughter, and life, and the next he is gone. He is last seen near his home on Southwest 9th Street and Arizona Avenue between 6:40 and 7 p.m., wearing a light blue Minecraft t-shirt, dark blue boxer briefs, and sandals. Despite relentless searches by law enforcement and the community, Michael is still missing. Authorities confirm he was abducted, but his whereabouts remain unknown. His family refuses to give up hope, and the search for Michael continues. The Fruitland Police Department urges anyone with information to come forward. If you know anything, call or text 208-343-COPS or email findmichael@fruitland.org. Every piece of information matters. Michael deserves to be found.
I need you to know how much Michael is loved. I need you to know how much he is missed. Our family is broken.
You can't take one of our most precious citizens from us and ever expect us to stop.
He's coming home.
Signal, shine a light for Monkey. Show him the way back to family. When his nightmare started, he was innocent and free. Now he's somewhere where he shouldn't be. So let that blue light signal shine a light for Monkey. show him the way back to family. There isn't any other color that really matters, it seems, except the color amber.
Happy birthday, monkey.
Which we haven't seen.
We love you.
So let that blue light shine all across the country and show him the way back to family.
Haley Cummings, a 5-year-old girl from Satsuma, Florida, vanished on February 10, 2009. She was last seen sleeping in her home in the Herman's Cove area the night before. By morning, she was gone. Despite extensive searches and nationwide attention, Haley's fate remains unknown. 16 years later, the case is still open, with authorities searching for answers. At the time, Haley was under the care of Misty Crosland, her father Ronald Cummings' then-girlfriend, who reported her missing. Law enforcement conducted large-scale searches, but no significant evidence was found. In recent years, the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children released an age-progressed image showing what Haley might look like at 21.
Today also marks 16 years since 5-year-old Haley Cummings vanished from her home in Satsuma. She would now be 21. To give you some background on this case, it was February 10th, 2009, when Haley was at home with her little brother and her dad's teenage girlfriend, Misty Crosland. When her father, Ronald Cummings, got home from work, Haley was gone. And to this day, she's never been found. Her case now classified as a homicide. Crosland was arrested on drug charges. She's scheduled to be released in 2031. Haley's father, Ronald, is currently in the Putnam County Jail on several drug charges. Both of those unrelated, I should say. They are unrelated to Haley's disappearance.
Her father, Ronald, was released from prison in 2022 after serving time on unrelated charges, but was never considered a suspect. The Putnam County Sheriff's Office continues to treat the case as an unsolved homicide, though no major breakthroughs have surfaced. Despite the passage of time, the search for Haley continues. Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida is offering a $15,000 reward for any credible information. Authorities and the community urge anyone with knowledge of her disappearance to come forward. Someone out there knows the truth. If you have any information, contact Crime Stoppers of Northeast Florida and help bring Haley home. Tip line 1-888-277-TIPS. 1-888-277-8477. Online submission. Visit their website at www.northeastflorida.crimestoppersweb.com. So, that's why we're here.